How did being bullied as a kid influence Kate Winslet's career? What part of her Titanic experience was the hardest to handle? And why going nude at 43 is so cool? Welcome to OSSA. My name's Joy and here is Kate. From blubber to rose. Long before becoming a fiery personality in the spotlight and inspiring a whole generation, Kate Winslet was an ordinary girl bullied by her classmates. I was always comparing myself to others. They called me blubber. They teased me for wanting to act, locked me in a cupboard and would laugh at me. Fast forward a few decades and Kate has won every major film and TV award there is, and not just once. What a career for a girl from the Berkshire countryside in England. In fact, she comes from a poor family who lived hand to mouth. To make ends meet, her father worked as a Christmas tree seller, a postman, a minivan driver, and an actor. Kate's grandparents ran the local 60-seat theatre in their backyard. Just this sort of pack of crazy people doing it for the love of it, you know, she summarized to The Hollywood Reporter. No wonder Kate and her sisters Anna and Beth inherited a passion for acting. It was as natural as getting up and brushing their teeth. Little 5-year-old Kate made her first stage appearance as Mary in her school's production of The Nativity. However, later she could never get the good part, and she was cast as the crocodile, the scarecrow, the dark fairy, or even a dancing frog.
When I was younger, when I was only 14, I was told by a drama teacher that I might do okay if I was happy to settle for the fat girl parts.
She felt like she wasn't good enough and that her body didn't match other people's expectations. Kate wanted to give up. Luckily for all of us, she chose to rise above it, entering Redruth's theatre school at the age of 11. That's where she started regularly taking a minibus to London for auditions, and her dedication paid off. One of them got Kate her first job in a cereal commercial. This was followed by lots of voiceovers and dubbings. I left school at 16 and got lucky. She appeared in the BBC sitcom Casualty soon afterwards. Another fortunate moment came when she was chosen among 175 candidates for a role in her first movie, an indie thriller Heavenly Creatures. The story of lesbian schoolgirl killers was highly praised by the critics. By the way, Winslet is still drawn to films that include LGBTQ relationships. Do you see where this is going? Stay tuned, we'll come back to this topic. Kate's second movie, Sense and Sensibility, with Emma Thompson and Alan Rickman, made her a rising multi-award star. And it was only her second film. If you could plug her in, she'd cut your electricity bill by half. In a world where self-doubt is endemic, Winslet's self-confidence is extraordinary, wrote the Irish Times. Obviously, soon this success would become just a drop in the ocean. I would kill to do this film. That's what Kate told herself and the British press after she read the script for Titanic. She was determined to get the gig. With just a handful of roles behind her, Kate Winslet auditioned alongside Gwyneth Paltrow, Winona Ryder, Uma Thurman, and Claire Danes. Can you even imagine some of them embodying Rose? Well, none of them had Winslet's precise all-or-nothing spirit. Kate called her agent and asked for director James Cameron's phone number. He was on the freeway and he said, "I'm going somewhere," she recalled. And I think he pulled over and I said, "I just have to do this, and you're really mad if you don't cast me." We couldn't agree more. On top of that, Kate was the one to convince the legendary Leonardo Dicaprio to take up Titanic. Yes, originally he wasn't into it. Jack, I'm king of the world Dawson, seemed too simple to Leo, who was keener on playing complicated characters with deep flaws. All in all, could Kate and Leo even have imagined how dramatically their lives would change because of Titanic? And almost overnight. In self-protective mode. The movie was a disaster, and not just because of its genre. The water-based epic weeper turned out to be physically difficult. It was like being in boot camp, blood, bruises, and hypothermia included. The uncompromising idealism of James Cameron became a real threat for the whole team. "God damn it, that's exactly what I didn't want," is what they often heard on the set. Thankfully, Kate had Leo to get through the chaos with. "We'd unload the stresses of the shoot to each other, vent to each other, watch out for each other," he said. Sometimes, between the exhausting scenes, they would just lie smoking hand-rolled cigarettes, watching the stars, having wonderful frank conversations on everything, including the sex scenes. Communication is key, right? When a Rolling Stone journalist asked Kate to share some of the tips Leo gave her, she answered, "No, it's too despicable. In fact, it can get really graphic. It's going to turn into a porn piece." They've been best friends ever since and even reunited for Revolutionary Road a decade later. However, nothing could have prepared these two for what happened after the release of Titanic. The stardom, instead of empowering Kate, put her face to face with bullying, just like when she was a kid. She was violently thrown into the public eye, criticized by the press, followed by paparazzi, and judged for the shape of her body. If that's what being famous was, I wasn't ready to be famous. Definitely not, Winslet recently said on Mark Maron's podcast, WTF. The only way out was to go into self-protective mode.
It's not about, to me, it's not about, making heaps of money and being famous. And in fact, quite the opposite. I really would work.
No more blockbusters. Kate wanted to work on her craft and quiet her mind, and she had a good strategy, taking on indie films, so she confined herself to more discerning roles, and even turned down promising parts in Shakespeare in Love and Anna and the King. Kate preferred going to Morocco to play a hippie mother of 2 kids in the indie movie Hideous Kinky. "I knew doing that film was going to save my soul for that period of time," she said to Entertainment. And it was a power move because she met her first husband, Jim Threepleton, on set. The two married and had a little girl, Mia, in 2000. Though this marriage ultimately collapsed. Kate was an actress renowned worldwide, while Jim's opportunities seemed to be dwindling. Miss Winslet, instead of spiraling into depression, signed up for Iris and earned herself another Oscar nomination. The Winslet engine revved up. It was insane juggling between her little daughter and acting. Still, she kept introducing her new dimensions to the world in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Kate wasn't that English rose in a corset anymore. A breath of fresh air came in the form of Oscar-winning director Sam Mendes, who wanted to cast her in a play at the Donmar Warehouse Theatre in London, and within minutes, Kate was wooed by him. It all turned into 7 years of marriage, and they were blessed with an adorable son, Joe, in 2003. Also, what an odd crossover. Mendes directed Winslet alongside Dicaprio in Revolutionary Road. Kate confessed that having her husband direct her in sex scenes with her best friend was a bit weird. Believe it or not, after this movie about a bad marriage, Kate and Sam's relationship started to fall apart. However, their Oscar statuettes still had some time to adorn the same mantelpiece. Kate won the award for Reader and got a standing ovation.
I'd be lying if I haven't made a version of this speech before. I think I was probably 8 years old, into the bathroom mirror, and this would have been a shampoo bottle.
Yes, acting shaped Kate's life. She wasn't this young, insecure girl anymore, letting someone else orchestrate her feelings. Winslet's stardom had nothing to do with looks. It should be me walking into the room and saying, "Hang on, no, I don't want to sit in the window. That's stupid, stereotypical. Make the woman look good by the nice, flattering light. I don't want to do that. Can we find an alternative?" Spoiler, an alternative was found. No filter Kate. She's changed a lot, and so has James Cameron. They reunited in 2018, many years after their Titanic collaboration, for the Avatar sequels. Winslet plays a major role in 4 of them. We still don't know much, except that Kate had to learn free diving for the mind-blowing underwater scenes. She recalls being overwhelmed by Cameron's universe. You go into this huge aircraft hangar, and anything is possible. You want to fly today? You want to do some spear fighting underwater? Sure, we'll do it! While filming one of the scenes for Avatar 2, Kate managed to hold her breath underwater for almost 8 minutes, which even beats Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation. Seems surreal, right? We've watched Kate constantly evolve. It remains essential for me to tell real stories. Showing off her unfiltered self has always been a big deal for the actress. Oh yeah, she went nude again at 43. And felt freaking good about it. In her latest movie Ammonite, Kate plays a British female paleontologist, Mary Anning. And what a raw, respectful connection she had with Saoirse Ronan. There was something wonderful about having that shared, equal language with another woman. Frances Lee was in charge of the movie, except the sex scenes, which were entirely choreographed by Kate and Saoirse. No male gazes here, huh? After all, who knows what women want better than themselves? After years of being labelled as ballsy, headstrong, curvy, Kate Winslet stands for acting without censorship and without hesitation as well. She's confident enough to do that now. We're celebrating real women much more, she pointed out. And Kate's happiness is real. She's been married to Ned Rock'n'Roll since 2012. Her 20-year-old daughter Mia just made her acting debut in an independent Irish movie, Shadows. On top of that, as Kate revealed on Jimmy Kimmel Live, her and Ned's 7-year-old son Bear just had the most serious coming out ever.
I'm just going to come out with it. I'm just going to say it. I'm like, oh my God, the drama. And he looks at me and he says, I want to be an actress.
Can you handle this amount of cuteness? Anyway, Miss Winslet's story proves to us at the end of the day, other people's words are nothing more than that. Just words. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please also check out our video about Leonardo Dicaprio. And as always, stay awesome.